And we start tonight with a story that you will see only on 2. Drones are becoming more and more popular, and experts predict that sales will jump 50% over the next 4 years.
And with all those unmanned aircraft up in the sky, some police are pretty worried about keeping folks safe here on the ground. But as we continue to hold people in power accountable tonight, we have found one local town may have gone a little too far.
Our team has been working on this story for several weeks. Channel 2's Michael Wooten has tonight's 2 on Your Side original investigation.
They capture breathtaking video, help inspect critical infrastructure, and have even assisted search and rescue teams in the aftermath of recent hurricanes. Drones are skyrocketing in popularity.
It's only going to grow.
But so too are concerns about safety, up in the air and on the ground. While U2 wowed crowds inside New Era Field earlier this month, limousine driver and drone operator Joe Dano of Rochester was out in the parking lot.
I just had gotten a drone, and I wanted to take pictures of all the limos in the lot, to put on my Facebook page.
Shortly after his drone took flight, he noticed flashing lights. Sheriff's deputies just questioned him, but then Orchard Park police stepped in.
And they took my drone from me and issued me an appearance ticket.
Dano says he followed all of the FAA's rules when he flew his drone here near the stadium. He was not in any restricted airspace. He kept the drone in his line of sight. He did not fly above 400 feet, and he did not fly directly over any people.
I didn't think I did anything wrong.
He didn't, according to the FAA, but Orchard Park police use a different set of rules.
Our officers responded, took him into custody, seized the drone under our local law.
That's right. Orchard Park has its own law that says you cannot operate a drone within a 3-mile radius of New Era Field 6 hours before up until 6 hours after any public event there.
Our concern was, well, what if one falls on someone?
The town says it consulted with the Bills and the NFL when drafting the law, even though a 2 on Your Side investigation found no other NFL city has such a restriction. An NFL spokesperson refused comment. The Bills say it's all about protecting the public. There were 3 drone incidents near the stadium last year. One drone crashed into the upper deck after a game. The police chief is thankful the crowd had already left.
Panic would cause hundreds of people potentially to get injured or potentially killed.
You can understand the motivation.
The states, towns, and counties have, they feel obligated to protect their citizens by creating these laws.
But there's a key concern. What Orchard Park did may be illegal.
Would a court find that this local law we have here is valid, is legal?
No, it would not.
We spoke with attorneys Enrico Schaefer and Jonathan Ruprecht, both drone law experts. They agree Orchard Park does not have the right to regulate drones in this way. Look no further than the supreme law of the land.
That's because the Constitution says federal law is always supreme. It preempts anything from a state, county, or municipality. In this case, you have to look to U.S. Code Title 49, Section 40103. It says the United States government has exclusive sovereignty of airspace of the United States.
I think that ends the discussion right there.
There's a very long line of cases that say municipalities and states may not regulate aviation and aircraft, that is the exclusive prerogative of the FAA.
In this fact sheet provided to 2 on Your Side by the FAA, the agency says a navigable airspace free from inconsistent state and local restrictions is essential to the maintenance of a safe and sound air transportation system. The FAA administrator said local regulations can make drone use less safe.
A consistent regulatory system ensures the highest level of safety for all aviation stakeholders.
Think of it this way. The FAA maintains a constantly updated mapping system that alerts drone operators of all TFRs, or temporary flight restrictions. There's one issued for every NFL regular or postseason game. No flying drones within 3 miles of a stadium 1 hour before up until 1 hour after. There are also TFRs for Major League Baseball games, Division I football games, some auto racing events, and anytime the president leaves D.C. Problem is, there was no TFR for the U2 concert when Joe Dano was ticketed. From the FAA's perspective, that was legal flight.
Those federal TFRs, or temporary flight restrictions, control, and any attempt to extend those or to regulate those by municipalities or states would most certainly be determined to be invalid by a court of jurisdiction.
And Orchard Park's law goes beyond just the stadium. It also says you cannot fly a drone within 1 mile of any open-air event with 200 or more people. That would include parades, festivals, even large family reunions. Critics say no drone operator could comply with that law because there would be no way to survey a mile in every direction to ensure compliance. In essence, it's a total ban.
In full disclosure, we reached out to more than a dozen aviation attorneys around the country trying to find anyone who would defend the Orchard Park law as legal. We couldn't find anyone.
Despite that, Orchard Park's town attorney stands by the law, saying our ordinance in no way supplants any higher authority, but supplements the same. In other words, he claims there's no conflict between the local law and federal regulations. But a court just ruled otherwise. In a first-of-its-kind decision, Federal District Judge William Young found drone restrictions in the city of Newton, Massachusetts were preempted by the federal government. While the Newton law isn't exactly the same as Orchard Park's, the legal theory would apply. The judge said intervening in the FAA's careful regulation of aircraft safety cannot stand. Despite that, the case against Joe Dano continues. He faces a $250 fine and up to 15 days in jail.
I do want to fight it. I would love to fight it.
But hiring an attorney is expensive. If Joe can get away with just a fine, he may pay it and move on.
So what should Orchard Park do?
The municipality should do the right thing, drop the charges. They, in all likelihood, pass this ordinance without full awareness of what the FAA's and the court's position was on this issue.
Even though that law remains on the books for now, Councilmember Mike Sherry in Orchard Park told me that he is now asking the town's legal department to once again examine this issue, especially after that federal court ruling. He wants to make sure that the town is within its rights in having this law. And Scott, there is really no question here that Orchard Park, the police department, the Buffalo Bills, they are all worried about the harm that could come from drones like this, but they have to operate within the law while they're trying to enforce the law, and that's the real question.
Interesting, Michael. What about other municipalities? Do they have regulations like this?
We spent a lot of time looking through a lot of different municipalities, and the only other one we could find is the Village of Orchard Park, which basically copied that same 1 mile restriction for events with 200 or more people. And by the way, Scott, we should point out that most of the local and state laws around the country dealing with drones have to deal with issues like privacy. It's really hard to find something as restrictive about the airspace as the one in Orchard Park.
I think we're going to be hearing more and more about this with the onslaught of possible terrorists possibly using these as well.
Absolutely.
In the country.
And Councilman Sherry wants to get to the bottom of this too.
Very good. Michael Wooten tonight. Great report, Michael.
Thanks.
Thank you. Mary Alice?